This is Hadrian Radio, coming to you from Free Catalonia, a KA radio production.
It is time for clear-thinking Catalans to organize ourselves. Ramon Carné, founding president of Cercle Català de Negocis, the business lobby for independence in Catalonia, and member of the Catalan Independency Resistance, la Resistència Independentista Catalana, the 22nd of November 2017. This is David Ravantós. This is chapter 24 of Radio Hadrian. In this brief program, we're gonna go on about how the Resistència Independentista Catalana, the Catalan resistance for independence, is growing, and how it is now certain that we're gonna declare independence far away from the path set ahead of us by the powers that be. We're gonna explain how we're doing this. We're going to explain in a summary what the objectives of the world and what the strategy are in the Catalan process. Then we'll explain why Spain has already won the elections of the 21st of December, and a bit about all the shenanigans going on here. And we'll also give a master key to open all the deception that has been going on in Catalonia for the last 5 years, 7 years, can be explained with this key master key, and then we'll leave it at that. Okay, this is an important program for us because this program is being slandered by infiltrated agents from Spain, disguised, and that's the perfect word, a person called Jordi Ribau Oliveras, who happens to dress in disguise to represent the defenders of the city of Barcelona in 1714 when we lost independence, and he's the main person in a historical association that is supposed to be for independence. Well, this person is slandering and lying about this program, saying that I'm a unionist, that I didn't do a hunger strike, and I have a mental illness. That shows us that Spain really fears the Catalan resistance, and they really fear this program because they are slandering us. And not only that, but they're doing with half-known people. So they're not even using fake profiles. They're trying to use people with certain authority to try to prove that they work for independence, but it's not true. So when this happens, they have been outed. And the threat that follows these people serves us to dismount a whole network of spies that work for Spain, though they pretend to run the Catalan process. So today we start, and thanks to KA Radio and to Shael Scott, this Sunday we're starting a third edition of Radio Hadrian, which is in Spanish, which let us reach a lot more people out there in the world, inside and outside Catalonia, in Spain and the rest of the world, in what is necessary to internationalize the Catalan fight for independence. The Catalan resistance, or Resistència Independentista Catalana, has been growing, and that's why I wanted to open with a sentence for Ramon Carné. Ramon Carné is one of the few people that has stood up against this mafia that is running Catalonia, though they pretend to be for independence. They work for Spain. In the last 10 years, they've been wasting his time. They have been trying to catch him unawares, and they've been attacking him in a number of ways because he is a real patriot, a real honest person. He's a friend of mine. He's been attacked by some of the same people that have been attacking me for the last 4 or 5 years. So the fact that somebody like him that has entrepreneurs, little and medium entrepreneurs, which is the backbone of Catalan economy and society in a way, are supporting him, and somebody who can double check the histories I tell you, because he's been suffering it from the same people, having Ramon Carné with us makes us indestructible. This has been such a special week. We have launched an online promotion flyer for Catalonia. We have people spreading it on the streets. We're gonna do some cosmetic changes so chapters are easier to access. and they tell what the chapters are about, and more importantly, we start the Spanish edition, as we said. So if Spain hates this program and is trying to silence this program, it means we're doing something right. So it's time now, as it always is, to thank Delia Forest, not only for being one of the most important person in the Catalan fight for independence by sharing the fight with us, by supporting me in my hours of need, and Cheryl Scott for giving us this opportunity. I hope to see them both the day when we declare independence in Catalan Parliament, which is not too far away. I hope they're with us no matter where they come from. We have been meeting people from different cities, towns, and areas in Catalonia, and the movement is growing, and it's gonna be exponential because they have tried to kill a secret when I only knew that secret 4 years ago, that everything is run by Spain. And then I double checked it and I found that everything in Scotland is run by London. And they tried to do everything to me, like threatening me, putting in a mental place, doing all kind of coercions and actions. The truth could have died with me, but it didn't. Now we are a very strong, capable group of very determined, capable, honest, hard-working people. So they cannot brainwash us all. So independence is at the door. We are building what I called the inverted castle for independence. So the first levels, which in normal castle, human tower, castells, as we call them in Catalonia, it's difficult. You have to start by having the most people to do the easiest part, and then it gets more difficult while you go climbing over levels. But here we necessarily, it's a castle we're drawing in a paper, because it was more difficult to have the information and the guts to go against all this pantomime they have organized, where everything we see is a Truman Show and nothing the Catalans love works actually for Catalonia. It's the same thing in Scotland. After 300 years, everything we love is supposed to be run by our enemies. So as I told a companion of mine about not to be desperate, because the truth about having been betrayed by everyone we love is too hard for a lot of people at this moment. So it's like having an apple tree, let's call it. And some of the apples, most of the apples are still not mature, they're still green, they're still non-mature. So we shouldn't pick them yet, because it wouldn't work. But at the same time, there's a lot of people who are seeing that we've been deceived by fake declarations of independence, and half our government surrendering, the other half running away. Now they're backing off from what they said, and it's out there that they never declared independence because they worked for the other side, so they never had the intention of declaring independence. So the same way as it's too early for some people, it's the right moment to take the ripe fruit out of the tree, so it doesn't rot in the tree or somebody comes and steal it from us. So we have to pick up the ripe apples at the right time and wait for the rest of the Catalan population will rise up to the enormous lie. So then when the majority realizes we've been deceived, then they're gonna join the resistance and we're gonna declare independence. And that's what we're doing, and that's what we compromised in doing. We're planning to put some other things that will reinforce this campaign we're trying to do, to put KA radio as a well-known media in Catalonia. So we're encouraging you, if you can, share this program, because that's what Spain hates most. It's the only program that Spain hates, because everything else are controlled opposition or limited hangouts. They bark against Spain, but they're working for Spain underneath. So the only program that works for Catalan independence and for Scottish independence, as far as we know, is this one. As we said, the summary of the objectives of Spain and the world, the teams here is, the objective of Spain is to kill independence, to do it through a referendum which provides the image of democracy, to avoid the domino effect in Scotland and everywhere else in the world, to protect the moles that are running our country and also Scotland, so they can stay in place and keep murdering that, to do it forever. They're doing it in such a way, people have been marching for 6 years, they've declared it twice, we've celebrated it, and now it has been taken away from us in a way that has been cruel, a mockery. And now our political parties are saying that unilateral is not the way, and they're taking out of the programs. So that the objectives are that, and that they mock us. All those objectives are served by having 4 different teams. They have the unionist teams, they have the so-called pro-indie teams, but actually they're run on top from our enemies, but most people don't know. They're trusting leaders that they don't know they work for the enemy. And then they have the pactists in between, like Podemos and Ada Colau and these people we've mentioned in chapter 6 and 7 that are fake. WikiLeaks has appeared to pretend to support a referendum, but as referendums don't bring independence, actually they're working for the New World Order, as we explained in chapter 8. And that's they have all the teams, and they also have limited hangouts that are trying to pass as the resistance. So people who are considering joining the resistance will end up in their hands, and they bark a lot against Spain, but they also work for Spain. So Spain has these 4 teams, and only the things that are around Radio Hadrian and Resistencia Independentista Catalana, or Catalan Resistance for Independence, work for independence. This state of things, where the whole plan is to have a rigged Scottish-style referendum, means that Spain has already won the elections on 21st of December. And I explain myself, it's like a horse race where there's only 7 horses competing, but they all belong to the same owner, though people might not know. Because there's some owners that are placed in between, like straw men. But actually, these straw men work for top boss who has all the horses. So then you can choose for whatever color or horse you want to choose. You don't have any choice, because you have to choose between the 4 official Spanish parties: Partido Popular, Podemos, PSOE, or Ciudadanos. They are the official Spaniards. And then you have the Spaniards that are disguised as Catalans, which are PDeCAT, Puigdemont, now called Junts per Catalunya, Together for Catalonia. Then we have Esquerra Republicana, which is Vice President Oriol Junqueras in charge. And then we supposedly anti-capitalist independentist CUP, which are some of the ones that have disrupted this process more. So no matter who you vote, it doesn't matter. It's going farther on. It doesn't matter the vote. It's not the votes that count, but who counts the votes, that Stalin said. But it goes worse. It doesn't matter who votes or who counts the votes if all the votes are for the same people, even though they're disguised in 7 different options. And that's why normally we should have only one list competing for this, because the electoral system here makes it that the more votes you have on a list, you have more seats, but if you divide them in 3, you lost a lot of seats. So it doesn't make sense, and that's done on Spanish advantage. If the programs or the manifestos have taken away the unilateral declaration of independence, Spain has won. If all the media in Catalonia are run from Spain, Spain has already won. So it's just mockery. It's like they let you vote, but it doesn't matter, because this is like a soap opera, and there's 40 chapters that have already been recorded, but they haven't been aired yet. So the truth is already written, the same way as the Scottish referendum was already written, because the votes were in the ballots before referendum day. But they had to pretend you were voting, but you were not voting. But the same way, people will not be voting the 21st of December. They're going to pretend they're voting. But all the choices have already been taken before. Some people we've seen so many weird things, I won't go into detail, but people who belong to different parties, now they change sides like nothing happened, because actually all the sides play for Spain. So you can move from apparently more pro-indie to less pro-indie and to no pro-indie at all, and no explanation is given, because actually it doesn't matter what they pretend to be, but they all work for Spain. They've even went as far as to have a second list for Esquerra Republicana de Catalunya, which is supposed to winning. It's going to be the equivalent of the SNP, to pretend that Spain might prohibit them from competing. They've been infiltrating Esquerra, like Oriol Junqueras, the deputy prime minister, which is going to be the next president. We already outed in chapter 4, and Carles Puigdemont in chapter 3. So why should they register another party? Well, to pretend that they're the enemy of Spain. It's all psyop operations, it's all psychological warfare. Esquerra Republicana has been promoted by Spain, who's created things called like Students for the Republic and Republic this and Republic that, and that party is called Esquerra Republicana. So there's been subliminal promotion for them created by Spain. And now they put a second list in case the main list is prohibited, just to give the Catalans the impression that this party is for independence, but nothing farther from the truth. Members of Catalan government have apologized and have accepted Article 155 being applied. So, and their cause has been moved from Audiencia Nacional to a slightly more lenient Tribunal Supremo, which they're expected to be out for Christmas, so the show must go on. PDeCAT and Esquerra Republicana, the two main parties, have taken away from their mandate unilateral declaration of independence, which we've already declared twice and have won 3 times, and now they're taking away from it. So if you have to reach an agreement with Spain that doesn't want any agreement with you, that's kind of quitting independence, isn't it? At this moment, Marta Rovira, which is number 2 in Esquerra Republicana de Catalunya, which is the party that foreseeably is going to win the elections. So the big deception in Catalonia is that everybody who's in prison works for Spain. There's a gigantic infiltration operation that includes all the members of government, most of the parliament, and the 2 Jordi guys which are running the grassroots organizations. And as we foresaw in Radio Hadrian, they betrayed us because they didn't declare independence, but then Spain had to protect them. And I know it seems a bit complex, but it's normal if you look at it. The traitors didn't declare independence, so the risk is that people would realize the obvious treason and they would go for them. So they needed to be protected. So the way to protect them is to put them in prison. So Catalan pro-indie people will love them by reverse psychology. And now the members of government in prison are acknowledging to accept Article 155, which is quite tender an article compared to 116, which would be the one that should have been applied if they had really declared independence, because in the Spanish Constitution and the law that develops that article says that in case of constitution being subverted, or in the case of declaration of independence of part of the Spanish territory, the articles to apply is 116, which is siege, alarm, and exception, which means we couldn't have had the big demonstration to ask for political prisoners to be out. But of course Spain wants that demonstration to happen because they want to protect them so they can keep betraying us. Now the 2 main parties are taking away unilateral declaration of independence of their mandates, which is incredible. And we have Marta Rovira saying that they didn't declare independence because Spain would have killed people on the streets. This Marta Rovira, number 2 in Esquerra Republicana, is the same one that lied to us, non-declaring independence with the rest of her chums in 27th of September. She lied to us saying that 1st of October we would vote like every time. She lied twice by doing 2 fake declarations of independence. So no matter how many fake plans will appear now, because of course when you know that 9/11, 11th of March in Madrid, bans in Barcelona and everything else everywhere in the world is faking just some papers, pretending that there's a big Spanish operation and that the Catalan government saved people, well, it's just a farce. To carry on with the farce, Spanish President Mariano Rajoy is asking companies that left Catalonia to give the psychosis that in case of independence all the companies will run away. And as the show must go on, he is urging them to come back. The truth is as hard as this. The key to understand the Catalan deception is simple as every Catalan leader works for Spain. These 6 words serves to understand the mock referendum of 2014, the mock elections that we won but they didn't bring independence in 2015, the two mock declarations of independence in October 2017. If you exclude that truth opens every explanation. Then otherwise you need we're receiving so many things that you cannot even begin to cope with about, and it probably sounds familiar. Oh, they're playing the long game and they have a master plan, and Puigdemont knows better, in the same line of Nicola knows better, and all this is to make us swallow the unbelievable. If the Catalan government appeared and accepted that they're traitors working for Spain, there would still be people saying they have a cunning plan. So this edition has covered its objectives to keep informing about deception here, to keep you informed that the Catalan resistance is growing and it's gonna bring independence to Catalonia relatively soon, and that's gonna bring independence to Scotland as well. Here they call it Black Friday in Catalonia, but it seems that we're gonna have a Black Friday every last Friday of the month, because it cannot be much blacker than what we had 4 weeks ago when the Catalan parliament fakely declared independence. They read one part which included declaration of independence, but they didn't vote that part. And they voted for a part that only gave instructions on how to apply independence. As we said, this program is being attacked left, right, and center by Spanish undercover agents in the Catalan process. So we are here to promote it and pump it up. And that's what we're planning to do, and that's why we would like to ask you to do. It's not only for Catalan independence, it's for Scottish independence as well, and it's for the truth to come out. The victory of the Catalan resistance is inevitable. 4 years ago, it was only a couple of us standing up against Spain. And then we found out the enormous deception plan, which includes infiltrating every layer of Catalan society, media, political parties, everything. It was the whole of Spain and its partners in NATO and European Union against like 2 or 3 people. We have persevered and they didn't win. And now they haven't isolated the truth. It's a secret that is already known by a lot of people. And not only that, but these people are coming with the little secrets as well. This week I met somebody who knows personally the person who's supposed to have done the van attack in Barcelona. And that person said it's impossible he did it, and said, I think it's the witness protection and it's alive. He's alive, which is exactly what I think as well. So when all our generic ideas come together with reality, truth emerge. And the truth is everything in Catalonia since 1975 has been an enormous Truman show, which is a lie. And now the Catalan resistance, Resistencia Independentista Catalana, is creating a movement that will have not only Radio Hadrian that we're going to promote, but other media to support this. And when the truth reaches every Catalan home, then we'll win. So we're urging everybody to join the Catalan resistance, and we're going to make history. We are winning. We are stronger every day. We have more people. We have the best people joining our ranks. So we are winning, and we're gonna win this. Visca Catalunya Lliure.
This is Hadrian Radio, coming to you from Free Catalonia, a KA Radio production.